everybody, and warm welcome to my channel, Tarot by Isabella. I am very happy to see you here, and I hope you're all doing great. Today's video will be a prediction video for the month of July 2025. And to do this video, I'm going to use my crystal ball, tarot cards, oracle cards, and some dice. But before we begin this reading for July, I want to thank you all, you wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel. I am very grateful for all of your mails, your comments, coffees, everything that you do is so tremendously helpful to continue doing this. And I did a live stream video not so long time ago, my first one. And I'm also very thankful for all of you viewers that joined the chat with many, many interesting questions. And I'm sorry if I could not answer all of them. It's, as you understand, it's quite impossible. But I hope that some of your questions were answered in that live stream. And I have something more to say about the live streams. I received a lot of comments why I don't have subtitles in this and that language. And I have to repeat, it's for the live streams. I will not add subtitles in so many languages that I usually have in these videos. And that is because I want to have a video when I don't spend almost a week with editing the video and editing the subtitles. It takes many days to do that, especially if it's a long video. And if I spend too much time editing subtitles for live streams, then I will have to sacrifice time for making videos in many subtitles, with many subtitles. So only the live stream videos will not have edited subtitles. All my other videos, and I will continue doing them as usual, will have edited subtitles like this one. Okay? And oh, here comes Algis for a visit. Seems like he wants to be with us here on the predictions for July. And he is very welcome. Anyway, what about July? Well, at the moment, the world seems to be quite in a turmoil. Everything is upside down. We have warmongerings and war-loving politicians everywhere. And it seems like they're really pushing for war. But we're going to see what the crystal ball and the cards have to say today for the month of July 2025. And let's see what he's doing here. Algis, get down from there. He's very mischievous. Well, we're going to see what the crystal ball and the cards have to say about the month of July. And all the predictions I do, it's an estimate time frame. I cannot with certainty say that everything that I see will happen in the month of July or in a certain time frame. That is just an approximate. And if I see something or hear or feel something very strongly, it has a big possibility to occur. Maybe not in that time frame, but could be close to that time frame. Sometimes big things take a little bit longer, but there is a big possibility that they will occur. Okay? So don't get too much stuck on the time frames. Things may occur a little bit later or when different events around that event is settled or in place somehow. Okay? Well, let's start this reading, this prediction for July then. First, I need to concentrate for a few moments on my crystal ball. And after that, we'll see if we can find something. Okay? Just give me a few moments and soon we begin. For the month of July 2025. Okay. Glasses on, and let's see if I see something. Mm. Okay. The month of July could be quite chaotic in many places around our world, in many countries. And I see in many countries in Europe, it's like a red light uh, going off with like emergency signal. Ooh, 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 ooh. And it looks like it will be some kind of panic going on. People could get very scared in many countries. They are really pushing hard to have wars, more wars, especially with the country R that are not interested in starting any war in any country in Europe or elsewhere. They just want to finish whatever they are doing in the country U and be left alone. But the Western countries really are pushing and poking the bear, and they really want war at any cost. So they will try to do some kind, I don't know, if it's a real attack or attack undercover or something like that in different countries around the Western world. Because I see this emergency red light, like a siren. Mm. Yeah, and people getting scared, very scared. I don't see any war in Europe at all, but as I said, the politicians, they're really pushing it and they really want it. Unfortunately, a lot of people are buying the propaganda for war, but many are not. And that's many that are not buying this war propaganda, and they are getting uh, their number is rising for every day. People are waking up. I see some kind of missile being shot towards the USA, but it will not drop on the ground. It will be stopped in the air. Mm. And it's from a so-called ally that is really not an ally that is shooting that missile. And the people's discontent with their governments and with the politics will rise for every day. Could be a quite hot summer with feelings that are boiling of anger and fear. We are closing up uh, for EU to collapse. The witch that is self-proclaimed leader of EU. Her stepping down from her throne is closing up. It's like it's not so far away. Many people are not prepared for what will come. It's like a global revolution, a global turnover of the whole systems. In Germany, there will be some big ugly incident inside a train, like a crazy man that attacks the passengers and says the train cannot just stop as it's want when it goes very quickly. Could be that this evil person can do some big damage before he will be stopped. And it's like many men in different wagons, they get together and put that person down so he will not harm more people. And symbolically, I see the mainstream media like a window that is cracked. And those cracks are growing bigger and bigger and bigger until the whole window just will be smashed into 1,000 pieces. And the lying mainstream will not exist anymore. Mm. The horrible crimes that have been committed in the Gaza Strip, it lays those crimes, that pain, that fear and sorrow, is like a very, very thick spiritual dark carpet over that region. And so many voices that have been cried out for justice. Um, the suffering of the people there. It's like this big spiritual carpet of suffering will begin to suffocate those who um, did that suffering, those who are responsible of that suffering. We are closing into time of justice, when justice will begin to act. The EU will, especially this summer, or begin to make some big crazy rules for the people of the EU nations, one crazy rule after another. And it's like, really, where? And the people will just, we don't care anymore. We don't want to be there. And they're almost all the politicians in the European and Western countries are bought by some very dark forces. and they are desperately hanging on to their power, but they will crash down. And it looks like there will be a period of very much unrest before this old system will be cleaned out and a fair and just system for the people will be installed. There will be a lot of doubt in many people, even those who are claimed to be awake. Who is good, who is bad, what is really going on? Since this is not just a physical war, it's also a spiritual war, a war between good and evil. And we are closing in more and more to like the final big battle, when the remains of evil will be destroyed forever. Some kind of mine or pump, I don't know what. Yeah, some big explosion in the ocean outside a European country. Or it's their own that are doing that explosion and trying to aim it on the country, or just to have the people's acceptance for joining a war. But it's more like a northern country. President Trump will make a very important announcement in the month of July. With that announcement, those who thought that he was a puppet for someone will clearly take that thought away. He will like make a 360-degree turn or 180-degree turn into a very important area. People will clearly know what many things are about. That will be in favor for President Trump. There will be some kind of attempt, could be assassination attempt on the vice president or Mr. Rubio. They will not be harmed badly, could be a little bit harmed, but there is some kind of attempt coming for those two. So the coming weeks, months, they should be a little bit careful, especially when they travel among people or in open spaces. They should have more protection. I'm not sure this could be France. So like many crazy people will go ballistic, berserk in the month of July. It's like something is activated, and I see a crazy man with a sword among people, hurting people in France. It's like maniacs awake. Will be awake. And I advise people to be, especially in Europe, to be a little bit careful when they are in very crowded places. And it looks like in the month of July, war against the cartels um, from the southern border, beneath the southern border, will begin. And they will be treated like terrorists, like enemy, foreign and domestic. And no mercy will be shown. A very quite turbulent month of July. Could be. I'm not sure if it's really at the end of month of July or in August, not close to that. The leader of the country, I see him this morning with a big white flag. Just as I saw Miss Harris, before the election, and she shrunk to a little smurf with no power. And the same will happen to Mr. Z from Country U. It's like his days are counted. There will be some big agreement between China and Taiwan. There will not be a big invasion or war. They will try to solve it peacefully. Especially when certain agents are removed, this peaceful agreement can come into place. Big ugly storm will hit the USA, the centers of the USA. It's thunder, tornadoes, and lightnings. It's very, very ugly. Fortunately, some homes can be destroyed and lives lost. In the month of July, more and more will be seen in the news and talked also about weather modification systems. Machines that can control weather or make it rain or snow or whatever. A little bit exposure in that direction. They will try to use an earthquake sort of trigger in the Caribbean to make some chaos there. But I see it could be worse than what will happen. See if I can see something more. Another big trafficking ring with little ones will be busted. This time, thousands of little ones involved, and a lot of people will be arrested. And I see the center of that ring in Central Europe. Could be Netherlands, could be Belgium, somewhere there. And it's like the arms, the tentacles from the center of that ring is going everywhere. And they will hit the center, that trafficking octopus. And it seems like a very important politician in Sweden will get arrested for some very hideous crimes. This time it will be talked openly in the press about. And animals will behave very strangely all around our planet. Not aggressive, but they would do things that they normally don't do, behave in certain ways. And that will also be a sign that the energies are changing. The animals are picking up that. And we are going into a big shift of this world. Okay. Now I'm gonna take some cards for prediction of July. First, I need to shuffle the tarot cards a little bit. Yeah, we have the tower that fell out. So it could be quite turbulent the month of July. Old system have to be tear down to give place to something new. And some, and some oracle cards. And finally some dice. This was blank. I need another one. Okay. I will call this again. Okay, the cards, they look like this. Okay, let's see what we got here. In the tarot cards, we have 8 of Wands, 7 of Coins, the Death, 4 of Cups, and Justice. On the Oracle cards, we have Grateful, Expectation, Appreciate, Sunshine After Rain, Grounding, go deep, explore your roots. And on the dice we have stage and balloons, gleeful, fortune, question mark, and someone swimming. Well, I've mentioned a couple of times that a lot of things that are happening around the world is staged. We have staged. And during the month of July, we're going to see more and more evidence that a lot of things, big things that are going on, are staged. It's not really for real. And in a sense, we will be able to celebrate because those who are digging very deep and be talking about that, they will get some kind of confirmation to what they have been saying. And the month of July, just like this month of June, have been quite a roller coaster. One thing after another happens. You don't have time to digest one thing until something else is thrown at you. And they're big events. And it's like boom, 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 boom. And people could be quite confused. Those who are expecting big monies or, debt forgiveness or things like that, unfortunately, this will not come in July. We're not really there yet, even if one of the goals in this spiritual war is that. But we will be able to see more signs of that we are going that way. Certainly big changes will happen in the month of July. Could be two very important persons that didn't unlift last month. Could be that this month, the month of July, this one, it will happen. And that will be for the fortune of the people of the planet. Some very quite evil personalities that have been behind a lot of crimes, a lot of suffering, they will disappear in the month of July. When we're coming to the end of July, and as I said, there could be some very big storms. A lot of people will be very disappointed and really wondering why are they allowing this? Why and why and why? We will finally get some answers on many questions regarding weather, strange weathers, and things that have been manipulated with to harm people through the atmosphere. We will finally get some light and many questions will begin to be answered. Even if not all the answers will come in the month of July, it will begin to open up for that. And we have the justice. Finally, we will see some justice with all those bad people that have been doing a lot of crimes knowingly, and they thought they could get away with that forever. But finally, we will see some big arrests, not only in the USA, but also in other countries. They will try to swim away. They will try to hide from this, but they will not be able to. And that will be very grounding for many. Finally, we'll see that something is happening, something we can touch and see, not just promises of this and that, but real action for justice. Now I'm going to take some final cards for prediction of July to see if there are some last words to be said. Oh, I also want to mention regarding the live streams. Um, I will not make a notice long time in advance before I do a live stream. Those live stream I will do when I have some time over, or I feel I have some strength, I'm not too tired, or whatever could be. And that could be an announcement like 1-2 hours before I do the live stream. So, but usually I will do the live streams around 8:30 Swedish time, in the evening. So, some last words for prediction of July 2020. And summits. Okay, well, the last cards, they look like this. In the last cards, we have Nine of Coins, the Chariot, and Knight of Cups. On the Oracle cards, we have a syringe, disease. We have surprises, sometimes shock, total, paradigm shift, and a coffin. On the dice, we have bottle, sun, and balloons. It would not surprise me that whatever was given to the people in this treatment a couple of years ago, we will begin to hear the truth about it officially in the month of July. They have bottled up, put all the evidence like in a bottle, and soon it will overflow with evidence. The release of that treatment or its horrific side effects that have unfortunately affected a lot of people, it will put in motion a very big paradigm shift. It will be very, very shaky. It will be very turbulent and could be very scary. But finally, the light on this whole thing and who was behind it and why and so on will begin to show. I really hope that this is for the month of July, so this will not be delayed for August to September. But as I say, time frames are very difficult to predict on, but this looks so clear and so written in stone. And someone who is related to this disease and the treatments, people that have been behind it, suddenly they disappear. And this will be celebrated by many. that finally those who are responsible to so much suffering will not be there anymore. Since justice will begin to really work, there will be no escape for those horrific crimes against humanity that was being committed. Mm. And as I said in an earlier video, that there will be a loophole regarding the pardons that the former so-called president made through AutoPen on many criminals. They will find a loophole. I told that in one of those videos before. And that loophole will be more and more evident. So many of those criminals that received a pardon will not have a pardon soon. And they will be able to face trials and charges for crimes. And this process could begin in the month of July, hopefully, but don't get too much stuck on that time frame. But we are heading that way. Unfortunately, for that special doctor who did a lot of crimes against beagle dogs from the breed Beagle and other experiments on the living people and things like that, is quite famous. Could be that he will get on a heart attack or something will happen to him before he will be able to go into trial. Yeah, he will be able to escape that humiliation for all the crimes he had been committed officially by disappear. Okay. Well, that was my last words for this prediction for July. And to all of you wonderful viewers out there, please take care. Don't get too stuck in all the propaganda that is going to be thrown at you from left, right, above, and below. Don't fall into panic. Don't be fearful. Try to stay calm. Try to think with your head. Keep your head cold, as to say. It could be quite turbulent month. We could be feeling very lost with all that will happening, but try to look forward. Try to think about a positive outcome for all humanity, because it's there where we are going. And if we can keep that thought of a better future for all of us, peaceful future without disease and war and poverty and so on, then we will be able to close up to that positive future sooner. So once again, I want to thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon. Bye bye.